Hello, we are the Fair Political Practices Commission, or the FPPC, and we would like to welcome you to our video series for Form 700 filers. This module will discuss how to complete Schedule B for interest in real property. Please note that advice can be fact-specific and that you should not rely on this video alone for help. We are available by phone or email if you would like to contact us directly with your questions. Additionally, there are several other resources which we will discuss later in this video. Also note that during the video, we will refer to both the Form 700 and the Statement of Economic Interests. These are in fact the same document, but in general, the Form 700 is the form before it has been completed, while the statement is a completed form. To get to the Form 700 page on our website, start at our home page and click on the box that says File a Form 700. The page that opens not only has a link to the form, but to other resources that we will be discussing during this module. Supplemental materials such as the reference pamphlet, the Excel form, the gift and travel fact sheet, and amendment schedules can be very helpful to you when completing your statement. As the title of the schedule indicates, this is where you will report your interest in real property. This includes buildings and land that you own during the reporting period. Keep in mind that the property must be located in your agency's jurisdiction for it to be reportable, and it must have a value of at least $2,000. Schedule B is also where you disclose a non-commercial loan that is secured by real property. Please note that you should only disclose property or loans that are reportable per your agency's Conflict of Interest Code, and you may find that your code narrows what must be disclosed. For training purposes, this video assumes that your properties and loans are reportable per your agency's Conflict of Interest Code. For more information on how Conflict of Interest codes may limit your disclosure requirements, please see our Need to Know video. Finally, if you are filing an annual statement, you must report property that you've held, bought, or sold in the past calendar year. If you are filing an assuming office statement or a candidate statement, you should report the properties you hold on the day you assume office. If you are filing a leaving office statement, you must report the properties that you've held since you filed your last annual statement. This slide shows various types of reportable interests that you may have to disclose. In general, you will report real property interests that you own that are located in your agency's jurisdiction and that generate income for you. For more information on reportable and non-reportable interest in real property, see the Form 700 instructions and reference pamphlet. Fortunately, there are many types of real property interests that are not reportable. The most common of these is your personal residence, providing that you do not use it for a tax-deductible business expense, or as a rental property. You do not have to report vacation homes either if you do not rent them to others. Keep in mind, however, that just because you don't report something on your Form 700, it doesn't mean that you can't have a conflict or that you can't be required to disqualify yourself from a decision about the property. Not reporting your personal residence is a good example of this. For instance, a city planning commissioner owns a home that sits next to the suggested route of a new highway. As is normal, she has not disclosed her home on her Form 700, but she should not vote on the highway project because she has a conflict of interest. If you are not sure if you should disqualify yourself from a given situation, please send your questions to advice@fppc.ca.gov. When reporting real property, you must disclose the address or assessor's parcel number of the property. In this case, the filer has chosen to provide a street address rather than the parcel number. Either is fine, but the parcel number allows you more privacy. You must indicate the highest value that the property reached during the reporting period. If you bought or sold the property during the reporting period, indicate the appropriate date. Next, you must check the box to show what type of interest you have in the property. This slide shows that the filer owns the property and is renting it to a couple. If you rent the property to someone else, you must indicate the gross income you received from the property during the reporting period. If there are tenants who paid you $10,000 or more gross during the reporting period, please provide their first and last names. A couple would be considered a single source. For example, if a tenant rented from you for only 3 months during the reporting period and his rent was $1,000 per month, you would not report him because you only received $3,000 from him. However, if like this example, a couple rented from you for the entire reporting period of your annual statement and they paid $1,000 per month, that would bring your total income from them to $12,000. Thus, you would provide both their names and the space provided. If no tenants reach the $10,000 threshold, check the box to indicate none. This example shows that the filer is leasing a property from someone. As noted on the last slide, when reporting real property, you must disclose the address or assessor's parcel number of the property. Again, we recommend using the parcel number as it provides you more privacy than the street address. If you are leasing a property from someone, you must indicate the amount of rent owed by you during the reporting period. If you signed a lease or finished one during the reporting period, indicate the appropriate date. If you did not sign or finish a lease during the reporting period, leave the dates blank. This slide shows that the filer did not sign the lease during the reporting period. Next, you must check the box to show what type of interest you have in the property. As noted, this example shows that the filer is leasing a property from someone. Please note that the value of a leasehold interest is the amount of rent owed by you to someone else during the reporting period. If you lease the property from someone else, you must check the box and indicate the number of years left on the lease. This slide shows that the value of the lease during the reporting period was $10,000 to $100,000, and that there are 11 more years remaining on the lease. If the time left on the lease is less than 1 year, disclose the number of months and indicate that you are recording months rather than years. Please note that you are not required to disclose a leasehold interest with a value of less than $2,000 or a month-to-month tenancy. Most filers will not have to complete the lender section of Schedule B because most loans on real property come through commercial lending institutions. You would only report a loan here if it is a private loan, perhaps from a family friend, and if the loan is $500 or more, and if the loan is secured by real property. In that case, you must provide the name and address of the lender and include a brief description of the lender's business activity. Please note that elected public officials may not accept private loans unless it is made in writing and it clearly states the terms of the loan. In the example on this slide, the filer has received a loan from Jessica Gokin to purchase the property on Phoenix Avenue. You must also note the interest rate of the loan if you are being charged interest, as well as the term of the loan. Indicate the entire term of the loan even if you have paid some of it already, or even if you made the last payment on the loan during the reporting period. The slide shows that the filer took a loan out that will take 24 months to repay. The statement does not indicate how many months of the 24 have already been paid. Check the box to indicate the highest balance of the loan during the reporting period. If there is a guarantor, check the box and provide the name of any guarantors. The hard copy of the Form 700 has places to report 2 different real properties. If you have more than 2 properties, you can either copy the schedule as many times as needed, or you can report the properties on the Excel version of Schedule B. The advantage of using the spreadsheet is that you can save it for next year's filings. It will be easier to make changes to an existing document rather than entering the data again on next year's form. You can find the Excel version on FPPC's website. If you are filing electronically, the system will allow you to add as many properties as you must report. They will all be saved for your next filing, and you will be able to add, delete, or edit properties as needed at that time. If after submitting your completed statement you discover that you've made an error or left off a reportable interest, you should amend your statement as soon as possible. You do not need to complete the entire form again, only the schedule or schedules where there are errors. Amendment schedules are located on the Form 700 page. After you complete the amendment, return it to your filing officer so that it can be attached to your original statement. Please note that your original statement will not be discarded. If you have further questions on completing your Form 700, we are available to help. For questions on what to disclose or how to disclose it, call us at the number above or send us an email. If you are having technical problems with your agency's e-filing system, please contact the filing officer at your agency to see who provides support for your system. If you are having technical issues with FPPC's system, please send an email to the address noted on this slide. This concludes the training module on Schedule B of the Form 700. We hope that you will watch our other videos for Form 700 filers to learn about other schedules. Please note that you may want to complete the cover page last so you'll know which schedules to attach to your completed statement. Thank you for your interest in FPPC training.